The film opens 65 years in the past, plunging the viewer into the chaotic aftermath of a devastating nuclear war. The world is rendered a vast pile of ash and ruin. Overnight, the lights died, families were torn apart, and the twin shadows of death and despair settled over humanity. Yet, even in the deepest gloom, a flicker of hope remains. Deep within the dense Amazonian canopy, a botanist named Lime Simith uncovered a miracle of nature capable of saving a sinking human race, the Genesis tree. This was no ordinary flora. It possessed the incredible power to siphon deadly radiation from the air and convert it into pure, luminous energy. Its blue, glowing flowers relit the world, but in doing so they irrevocably altered the course of human destiny. The scars of war were deep. In the subsequent years, 90% of all children were born with crippling genetic defects. To ensure the survival of humanity and the birth of healthy children, scientists frantically spliced the Genesis flower's potent DNA with human genetic code, injecting the compound into expectant mothers. The result was a generation of genetics, modified children with abilities 10 times greater than baseline humans in hearing, sight, and capability. They were hailed as royalty. While 90% of newborns were genetics, the remaining 10%, those whose bodies could not accept the Genesis DNA, were born as ordinary humans. Among these ordinary humans were the specials, individuals often born with severe congenital defects, unable to walk, sightless, or suffering from grave heart conditions. In this brave new world, specials were treated as refuse, subject to relentless mockery and social exclusion. The only employment available to them was the most grueling manual labor. Our story then jumps to the Genesis Institute, the fortress guarding the remaining powerful trees. Here we meet Leon, a wheelchair-bound janitor, and Chloe, a sharp 12-year-old girl visiting on a field trip. It is immediately clear they are collaborators, infiltrating the Institute with the sole intent to steal. Chloe expertly diverts the tour guide's attention, giving Leon the opening to use a sophisticated hacking device to unlock a secure door. He checks a detailed map, calculating the patrol routes, and deploys a remote-controlled rat rigged with knockout gas. As the guards rush to investigate the toy, the gas disperses, leaving them unconscious. Masked, Leon enters the inner lab, having previously released a sleeping agent into the facility's ventilation system to neutralize the scientists. Inside the sterile chamber, Leon grips his mother's old watch, a source of courage. He uses a laser cutter to slice through the Genesis tree's protective glass and snatches a glowing blue flower. Instantly, the tree's defense system, a dangerous mutation caused by its absorption of atomic fallout, activates, firing lethal needle-sharp thorns. Leon barely escapes. The security alarms blare, initiating a faculty-wide lockdown countdown. Leon, still masked, cleverly loses himself in the panicked crowd, deliberately bumping into Chloe to secretly transfer the stolen flower, which she conceals inside a teddy bear. Chloe, passing inspection by handing the bear to the unsuspecting guard, walks calmly out of the facility. They return to their impoverished home district. A political broadcast catches their attention. Senator Frank is campaigning hard for Proposition 42, a law promising equality between genetics and specials, backed by a planned serum to cure the specials' debilitating conditions. Simultaneously, Mira, a glamorous pop star, announces a unifying concert in the specials district, a gesture of peace that Leon, inherently distrustful of the wealthy genetics class, dismisses as meaningless. Their home is a subterranean workshop crammed with gadgets and exotic flora. Chloe is a gifted botanist, cultivating acidic fruits and bizarre venomous vines using specialized chemicals. Leon is a brilliant engineer, specializing in advanced prosthetics for the specials. The stolen Genesis extract is his key ingredient for building the high-tech gadgets their community needs to survive. A frantic call arrives late that night. A special, working in the genetics district using a mechanical suit, is stranded after his suit failed. He fears exposure and subsequent firing. Chloe initially refuses the danger, but Leon agrees when the price triples. Despite Chloe's dire warnings about the hostile genetics district, Leon, equipped with knowledge of an old service tunnel, insists on taking the job. The chef meets them secretly at the hotel and guides them into the high-end establishment. They immediately set to work repairing the chef's mechanical exoskeleton. Before the job is finished, the power cuts out. The anti-genetic squad, a violent group of ordinary humans who despise the genetics for their privileged status, launches a savage attack. They are killers. They execute the chef and wreak havoc. Leon and Chloe hide, but the back door is jammed. Faced with a devastating situation, Leon makes a critical decision. He dons the deceased chef's powerful mechanical suit. As the gang enters the kitchen, openly planning a major terrorist bombing and assassination, Chloe spots and retrieves a dropped piece of paper, their target list. Suddenly, Leon's hastily worn suit falters, causing him to crash loudly into a metal counter, exposing their location. Before the thugs can react, Leon throws everything in the kitchen at them, then uses the suit's incredible hydraulic strength to burst open the sealed back door, and they make their escape. Back in their workshop, they breathe a sigh of relief, believing they've survived. They are wrong. Hotel CCTV footage captured their faces. Because the attackers were masked, the police are led to believe Leon and Chloe are the masterminds of the terrorist gang. Soon after, the police special forces chief appears on the news, which shocks Leon. He recognizes the chief as the true leader of the gang he encountered moments before. The city's top cop is a terrorist. Chloe examines the recovered paper. It's the itinerary for Mira's upcoming concert in the Specials District. They realize the gang plans to attack the event, frame the Specials, and guarantee the failure of Proposition 42, ensuring the Specials remain marginalized. Chloe is galvanized, seeing this mission as a fight for their entire community. Leon, crippled by fear and hopelessness, believes a handicapped man and a child are powerless and decides to flee. Chloe storms out in anger. As Leon packs, his mother's watch catches his eye, inscribed with the words, "Everyone is equal." He remembers his mother, a special, who died due to lack of medical care. The injustice spurs him. He cannot back down. He returns to his workbench, much to Chloe's delight upon her return. Leon has heavily modified the chef's suit, adding weapons systems. Chloe, applying her botanical genius, incorporates biovines that can generate electric shocks, acidic fruits, and incapacitating gas. The next day, they are ready. After the concert, the gang attempts to kidnap Mira, causing chaos. Leon and Chloe infiltrate the chaos unnoticed. When the gang corner Mira in a corridor, Leon, now fully armored in his suit, leaps into the fray. The thugs mock the suit's appearance as it suddenly sprouts vines and flowers, Chloe's biological modifications. But Leon demonstrates its lethal capability, using the electrified vines to shock the thugs and the biofruits to deploy blinding gas. Before he can escape with Mira, the rest of the gang arrives. Outnumbered and outmatched, Leon is knocked down and brutally beaten until his suit shatters. He is moments from death when Chloe arrives, driving a stolen car. She rams the remaining thugs, pulls Leon and Mira into the vehicle, and speeds off to the safety of their hidden workshop. There, they reveal the terrifying truth to Mira. Her own police security detail are the attackers. Mira reveals she has a crucial meeting with Senator Frank the next day. Leon connects the dots. The hotel attack, the concert attack, and the next logical target, the family planning center where the meeting is scheduled. The true goal, Leon deduces, is not to kill Mira, but to assassinate the senator and crush Proposition 42. They must save him. The next day, they enter the planning center disguised as a couple. To distract the staff, Leon asks Mira to sing. The gang arrives to complete their mission. Leon quickly engages them, using the suit's acid projector to melt their masks and initiating hand-to-hand combat. However, he is no match for the powerful police chief, who once again shatters Leon's suit, leaving him for dead. In the nick of time, the senator's personal guards arrive, gunning down several thugs, forcing the chief to retreat and conceal his true identity. Leon has saved the senator's life, but the senator's own guards immediately accuse him of the attack. Stunned, Leon realizes the deeper betrayal. He is the senator's son. Chloe, heartbroken by the revelation that Leon is part of the genetics class she despises, flees in tears. The media frenzy begins. The senator, speaking to reporters, proclaims, "A hero, my son, saved me. He is a special, and this proves they are in no way inferior to the genetics. They deserve equal rights." Proposition 42 passes by unanimous vote. The government promises equal rights and establishes medical camps to treat the specials. Leon searches for Chloe in vain and returns, heartbroken, to one of the new medical camps. There, the senator finds him, apologizing for his past mistakes. "Your mother died because of my failings," he confesses. "I want to fix that. She wrote you a letter before she died, but you left before I could give it to you." Alone, Leon reads the letter. "Forgive your father. Let your heart be wide, because in the end we are all equal." At that moment, Chloe and Mira arrive. Chloe reveals that the police chief has not been arrested and appears to still be collaborating with the senator. Something is terribly wrong. Chloe spies on the senator and the chief using a high-tech camera focused on a nearby laboratory. Through the lens, they uncover the shocking truth. The senator and the chief were never enemies. They were partners. The attacks were an elaborate, cynical piece of political theater designed to gain public trust. Proposition 42 and the cure were not for the specials' benefit, but to further enhance the genetics. The secret lay in a unique chemical harvested from the specials' brains. The medical camps were in fact extraction centers. Instead of treatment, specials were having this vital chemical violently removed from their brains, a procedure that was often fatal. The senator and the chief did not care. They wished for the specials to perish, leaving the world only to the genetics. Their conversation also reveals that only one special would be cured: Leon, the senator's son. The betrayal is complete. Leon surveys the camp. Specials are dying, and the truth of the deceit ignites a revolt. The specials rise up, ready to fight. Leon heads for the operating room where his own procedure is scheduled, concealing his newly repaired prosthetic suit beneath his blanket. When his father and the nurses arrive, Leon reveals his purpose. He chokes his father, calling him a monster, locks him away, and seizes the injection stolen from an innocent special. Leon races to the security room, eliminates the guards, and opens the main gate. The alarms howl. The police chief and his army storm the facility to contain the situation, but they are met by a tide of specials. Using mundane items, rocks, beds, anything at hand, the specials fight back against the stronger genetics and the gang. Though the genetics are physically superior, the sheer numbers of the specials begin to prevail in a brutal, sprawling battle. Meanwhile, Chloe and Mira are on a desperate mission, trying to upload critical evidence against the senator and the police chief to higher authorities, a process that requires 5 agonizing minutes. A thug attacks Mira, choking her, but a heroic special intervenes, striking the genetics down and saving Mira. The evidence transmission is completed, and their mission to expose the lies is a success. In the climactic showdown, the police chief and Leon engage in a brutal duel. The genetics chief, fast and immensely powerful, shreds Leon's suit into pieces, dragging him into the lab and slamming him violently against the control panel behind the Genesis tree. Knowing the tree's deadly defense mechanism, Leon swiftly tears off a flower, activating the lethal thorn firing system. He drops to the ground. The chief is impaled and dies. Moments later, the police arrive, arresting the remaining thugs and the senator. The institution is seized. The era of evil is over. The senator's crimes are exposed. Proposition 42 is nullified, and the borders between the segregated cities are opened. Equality reigns. Genetics and specials can finally coexist as equals. The victorious trio, Leon, Chloe, and Mira, celebrate. Mira sustained a severe neck injury in the final fight, making it difficult to eat, but she is resolved to live out her life alongside Leon. Chloe stands safely by their side. However, from the shadows, a scarred man watches Leon. It is the senator, his father, either having evaded capture or escaped from prison, waiting patiently for his moment of vengeance. What will he do next? The film ends on this chilling secret.